Aries, for the month of June 2022, general messages. General messages for Aries for the month of June 2022. You have the Two of Cups, you have Adjustment, which is Temperance, you have the High Priestess, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, this is pretty intense already, Aries. I might just pick one more. The Emperor, wow. Okay, Aries, for the month of June, you have the Two of Cups, and in this Thoth deck, the Two of Cups is love. So automatically, Aries, I feel that there is love for you this month, in the month of June. It is a deepening of love. I feel like for most of the Aries collective that this month is going to be focused on relationships. It's going to be focused on that one particular relationship that you are in currently. I feel like it's current energy for most of you, but this obviously, if you're not in a relationship, this can be a message for those who are seeking a relationship, but we'll get more deeper into the messages as we go. So right now with the Two of Cups and the Adjustment card, which is Temperance, I believe. Sorry, Justice. Justice is the Scales. So there is a balancing, and with the word adjustment, there's a balancing of a current relationship, and I'm hearing the word equilibrium. I don't even really know what that means, but I assume it's when we bring balance and equality and those Libra scales shift into some kind of adjustment. And this adjustment is adjusting into a more balanced, harmonious energy. So there may have been a situation recently where the scales were out of balance, whether it was communication, whether it was one person giving more to the relationship, and I feel like it's more of an emotional give and take. So one of yous in this connection may have been out of balance when it came to expressing emotion, but we can get deeper into the messages when we clarify. But for the month of June, there's going to be some truths. I see the sword here in the Justice card, and the truths are going to balance out the situation for you in the month of June, Aries. And the sword of truth always brings about balance when we are able to communicate ourselves in a way that is direct and comes from the heart. And so in established relationships, for those of you who are in one, there is going to be a beautiful balance coming through and a sharing of truths in some way. With the High Priestess here right in the middle of your reading, Aries, I feel that this is communication that you may have felt, but it hadn't been expressed, and it hadn't been known, and it hadn't been communicated. With that sword again, it's the High Priestess knowledge of knowing, and she keeps that knowledge to herself. So it's that silence. There may have been a period of silence, and I feel with the High Priestess, that's going to balance itself out. So that if one of yous were keeping your truths about this connection, about your emotions in this connection, about any kind of communication, that knowing is going to, that silence is going to balance itself out now. So I do see communication here, and I don't see, what I don't see is the communication being kept to oneself. I feel that there will be an expression and there will be an equal balance of understanding where it is that your person in this Two of Cups is coming from, and understanding that they are coming from a place that is wanting, in fact yearning, to bring a sense of justice, a sense of understanding. Because when we look at justice, justice is about making wrongs right. Where there was silence, there's now communication or expression. Our next card for you, Aries, is the Wheel of Fortune. Excuse me, that's my tummy. The Wheel of Fortune, it's early in the morning here, Sunday morning in New Zealand. And I haven't had breakfast, but I have had coffee. So the Wheel of Fortune, after the High Priestess, we've got such strong, powerful cards here. Major Arcana, Justice, the High Priestess, Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune also is confirming for me that continuation of justice, right? So bringing into balance and harmony, the Wheel of Fortune moves in that positive direction, because there's only positive, from what I can see, positive cards here. And the Wheel of Fortune goes into the Emperor energy. So this may be the masculine. Feminines, if you are the more masculine in this energy, this connection, this is bringing about a change of momentum, and it heads straight into the Emperor energy. So this Wheel of Fortune is all positive momentum. It's a shifting. And like I said with that Priestess, the High Priestess card, it's a shifting of the silent known information coming about into action. Because I always see the Emperor as being a masculine, action orientated energy. But here's the thing, with the Emperor, his action is more of a contained energy, a more controlled, self-disciplined energy. So I see this Wheel of Fortune momentum coming into the contained, controlled, very masculine, grounded energy of the Emperor. So it may be that this action isn't so much doing, but coming into a space of, what's the word I'm looking for? Coming into a space of clarity, vision. Or I'm seeing the image of like a container, one of those lunch boxes that have several compartments, and this energy being poured into those compartments. It's like this momentum and this connection, and it can be you, Aries. In the month of June, you're going to be placing this balanced energy and this communication that was unknown or silent now into a more organized fashion. And it's going to be, from what I can see and feel here, and this love connection, because it is love, there will be a more organized structure to where it is both of your energies are, where the direction with the Wheel of Fortune of this connection is going. And that's a real progressive energy in this clearly love relationship. It can be a love relationship with a family member, a friend, but where there was, it almost feels like it was kind of up in the air energy, which is now going to be placed into almost strategic, disciplined, well defined context. So by the end of June, you're going to know exactly where you stand and where you're going, because this energy and this connection has been grounded into the places that it needs to be. There's going to be adjustments to create that balance with the Justice card. There's going to be a now knowing of what was unknown and unspoken. And the momentum is moving forward with the Wheel of Fortune. So that's quite a beautiful message. It's a very clear message. This isn't particularly, I wasn't expecting to talk just about love in relationships, but this is where this reading's energy has headed, Aries. I'm going to pull a couple more. I feel like I'm going to pull some love messages, only because I know that this reading is based on love. What else does Aries need to know for the month of June? I don't want to clarify any of those cards either, because it's very clear. The message is there, so I'm just going to, see what energies come out. Excellent. So, Aries, we have the Hanged Woman. We have the Five of Swords. Sorry, keep forgetting I've changed my setup. And we have the Ace of Cups and the Three of Cups. Ace of Cups and the Three of Cups is continuing on in this relationship. Unconditional love, right? A celebration, reunion. So there's definite progress happening in this connection. With the Hanged Woman and the Five of Swords, I feel like this is past energy coming into the present. There was a feeling of stagnation, but in almost like non-movement, because we had the Wheel of Fortune popping up here. There was non-movement. Could have been non-movement in the way of communication, that silence, that break. In order for you to have a different perspective on this. And it's only through having that break of silence that you're able to gain that perspective, that different perspective, right? With the Hanged Woman. Things look different when you're upside down. And you've had this opportunity to see things from a different perspective. But with the Justice card coming out, that perspective, that Hanged Woman turns upright and is more balanced, is more clear, is more focused than what she was before she went into Hanged Woman position. You're almost able to feel where the adjustments need placing, okay? And it's through that insight that you're able to know what it is you need to communicate in the connection, because we can communicate till the cows come home, and our communication can be muddled and unclear, because what we're actually focusing on communicating isn't what needs to be communicated. So the High Priestess tells me that in the month of June, you'll be able to fine-tune your communication skills in order to just express what it is you are meaning. And I don't think a lot of Aries find that hard, but it can get clouded sometimes, right? And I see you coming out of that through the Hanged Woman's perspective, new perspective. With the Five of Swords, this is exactly what I'm talking about. When our communication becomes muddled or murky or unclear, because what we're trying to say isn't coming straight out of our mouths. It's being distorted because we have a certain perspective of what we think should be happening, what we think is happening, because we're internalizing it in a way that is not clear. And so we express that to our significant other or the person that we care about, but they become confused because we're not coming from a place that is all-knowing and that is centered, that has gained this new perspective. So Aries, you're gaining that new perspective, and the Ace of Cups is unconditional love. You're coming now into centering yourself into that loving place again in the month of June. Who doesn't want to be in that beautiful Ace of Cups energy? And then the Three of Cups, that reunion, that celebration, that common ground of sharing and caring and understanding and being in a happier space. You're going to be in a happier space this month, Aries, and I just see lots of love flowing, lots of love flowing, lots of movement happening, and a grounding of what it is you need in this connection and where it is you're going, because you're coming onto mutual ground, mutual level, mutual energy. And I love that for you, Aries. I hope you were able to take something from my reading today, and I wish you all the best.